Wow, I just missed that. I literally just had two hummingbirds fly right through here like that. Not 2 feet in front of the camera. They must be a little chilly this morning. Stuff right here. There. That's just wet. But you get over a little farther, it's all froze out here. Number 2 made it to school. I texted her, and as she was leaving, she was still in the yard. And I said, hey, be careful, everything's ice. Said, let me know when you get there. So she did. She said the roads were good, so. There's a pretty cool cloud right there in the middle. There's how the sun's starting to come up. After I put the video up last night, well, it was sprinkling for part of yesterday anyway in the video. I don't know how much it rained, but it rained enough that you could hear it, and it got everything good and wet. And then, of course, we got down 30 or below this morning, so this started out right? Clear skies, so when that orb comes up, it'll start warming up. Maybe. In the meantime, I think I'm going to be in the shop most of the day, thinking with little stuff. I got that epoxy to fix the radiator on the excavator. I might do that today, we'll see. I don't want to mess with that when it's too frickin' cold. And there went another hummingbird buzzing by. Sun starts to come up and they're hungry. I think maybe Mom let the hummingbird feeder go empty because I see one working on the sliding glass door up there, like he's trying to say, hey, come feed me. He's like between the post and the middle of the door, you can see movement. That's a hummingbird. They get narrow-minded when their feeder up there is empty. Anyway, hey, that's a good enough 2.5 minutes of your morning because you got to see the sunrise. Well, part of it. And I can't quite get it all to come in good. In the midst of that bright stretch, there's a really bright pink contrail, but it ain't showing up. Washes out if I go one way and won't show up the other. Trying to get where you can see into there. As most of you know, I got one more thing I need to mount in there near that console or somewhere where I can see it easily. I made a holder for it. Just holds the unit itself. I never got to, or I can make any mounts for it because my brain was having a hard time with part of it. Some of you know what that is. And here's the beginning of the mount. If you figure out how that goes yet, let me know. I'll show you later, don't worry about it. Piece of conduit. It's not water pipe, it's too light for that. I don't even know where it came from, but it was here. Took a chunk off that piece of round stock. There's an inch of that stuffed in the end of it, welded in. That way you tighten that up, you don't distort it any. And I ground flats on the side. Probably went too far, but you can't go anywhere, right? I hope not. And then my plan is I'll make a piece out of what's left, probably make 2 pieces actually, that will mount up in the cab. And this will probably be, I don't know, so long maybe somewhere in here. So it'll slip all the way down, and I'll weld a nut to the side and put a bolt in it so it holds it in place. In the meantime, I'm going to fire the hot glue gun up, and I'm going to stick this together and make sure this part works. Then figure the rest of it out. I'm just not sure how it's going to work in there yet. Somebody's having fun,
No.
Not.
This sucks.
She says this setup sucks. Rather than being studs, they're long bolts. So as soon as she started taking everything apart, everything started falling apart. So she's having fun. She's conned her mother into trying to help her. Well, her mother has been cleaning up brush and crap from here up the driveway. Daughter number 2 brought some barrels home from work a while back. The kinds with lids, but that one's got a big, huge dent in the side. The other 3 are in good shape, so I took a pick and banged some holes all the way around the outside at the bottom, threw a few in the very bottom for drainage. And there's her first bunch of crap. Lovely having the neighbor's redwoods along the driveway, because you know where all this stuff falls onto. Makes it nice, not. Anyway, but now she got to figure out where to put the barrel. So I told her, no, best thing's at the bottom of the hill again. Because you don't want it too close to the feed barn. If anything drifts off, it goes in, gets on a bale, and then you burn shit up in there. Same with the back barn. Hey, guess what? My phone's on, not on vibrate. At one time, we used to have an old burn barrel over here. Burned everything out of the shop. It's set a little farther away than that barrel is. But there's also a drop right there. And one day there was a little extra oil and grease on some rags. I think we're done burning there. We didn't hurt the line any, but... And she's going, what about over here? Yeah, if you put it over here, you got to go clear back there. And I'm sorry. It's not conducive to pack everything back into there, so... Oh well, she'll get it figured out. That orb's up. It's actually comfortable out right now. It's only like 40 degrees. But the sun's got enough warmth to it, and it's not sopping wet today. You hit a little breeze, you get cold, but otherwise it's comfortable in a t-shirt. Well, she got the carburetor and all back on there. Hopefully she got it clean enough. She was going to go ahead and change the oil in it while it was in here, and ran into an issue with that. We can't find an oil drain plug. Nice. And somebody, I don't remember who for sure, I think it was Bryce, but it might have been Brent. I don't know which one of you guys mentioned something about Briggs & Stratton engines being made overseas now and no longer having an oil drain plug. Yeah, well, this is a Honda. This thing's been around here for probably 10 years, maybe longer. Bug flies into the phone. And see if I can do this without knocking it off of here. We looked, and we looked, and we looked. There's absolutely nothing underneath. There is a Bosch right there that obviously was not drilled through and tapped, and a plug put in it. And there's nothing on this side, and there's nothing around back. So she was looking to see if she could find the book on this particular Go-Mobile. I think Grandma's probably got it in the house because we don't have it out here in the shop. So I don't know if we're going to have to suck the oil out. I'm going to give her a straw. Or what you do. Kind of think the book might tell you that you have to suck it out. I don't know. Either that or you just turn it upside down and let it all drain in the wrong spot and maybe come out.
BS is what this shit is.
So, yeah, make shit cheaper and cheaper. You know, they saved, what, 35 cents on a plug and about 10 cents on the extra machining that would have been done, you know, by a robot.
Well, they could have made it so much easier, too, if they put actual studs in it instead of the damn bolts.
Oh, yeah, she's all kinds of pissed off because that's all on there. The carburetor and air cleaner's all on with bolts instead of studs. Yeah, it is easier with those if they're studded, but...
Well, you've got freaking 12 pieces to shove it together.
Life in the fast lane. She'll get over it. As long as it runs when she's done. You probably can't hear it, but there's helicopters running over that direction. 'Tis the season. I would imagine they're pulling Christmas trees out. Been hearing it for the last little bit. And it's not like they're moving in a long area. They're staying in a pretty small spot. Maybe up there where we farm. They helicopter stuff out. That slug hanging there is the nubbin to mount my tablet holder on. There she is. Paint's dry enough to handle. I had both thumb screws on the same side, but if I'm going to put it where I think it's going to be able to go, I can't have it on the right side. The other one I don't have a choice. Nuts welded in. I think I can put it there. Give you a view of where it's going. It's hopefully it doesn't end up with any wiggle, because it'll take the window out if it does. Kind of in away from my gauges, but not really. You know, hindsight's 20/20. I could have run those gauges clear up. I could have put them up there above the window bracket. Maybe I should have. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it because that's where they are. Everything's there. I'm not going to redo it. I mean, if the window wasn't in the way, there's already a hole over here to mount this thing, but a little tight to the ceiling. So that's my plan at the moment. See if I can get a hole drilled close enough to the edge, get it far enough away from the window, and hopefully not block those too much. Tis what it is. And right there's the center of my line of sight, sitting back in the seat. But sitting back in the seat, I don't know that I can see the end of the boom, so I've got to be up here to look out the window to see out to the end of the boom. And the way these things are in the field, at least the other buggy, it bounces so damn much and it's violent. So you don't sit clear back very often unless you're in good smooth ground. And I don't have much of that at the moment. Other thing I got to do here is I got to see if I have one. In the other buggy, I actually have the, like we got up on the wall right there for going upstairs. Those are cab grab handles off a Freightliner truck. I have one of those. I don't remember if it's vertical or horizontal, but it's right beside me in the other cab, and it's, you got to have it. You hold onto the steering wheel and you hold onto that so you can stay in one spot in the field. So I'm going to do something in here. I'm thinking probably run from up here in a diagonal and go in down here. I just got to be careful going into there because that's where all the AC and electrical and the heater lines are. Unless I go to here, it's double walled anyway. There's nothing there. It's about that thick, so I got room to go there too, which might be the better option. I just got to see if I got something first. Or make something. You know how it goes. Well, there it is. Hopefully it's in a good spot. Like I said, I'll probably be sitting up about right here while I'm actually running it. So I can just see the gauges. I might take a little chunk of sticky rubber and stick to the window over there just so it can't bump it. We'll see. But it's on there. And it's tight. Hopefully it's going to work right. Yep, that time of day. A little lighter tonight. I barely got out of the way. They were going to splatter me. Still a bunch in the barn. Some of them care, some of them don't. They'll all get something to eat. Yeah. Then there's the boys over here. They just stand around out there all day long. Of course, standing outside, that's better than making a mess inside. Right? Oh well. It's been a long enough day. I'm going in. Thanks for watching, everybody.